What's up, Facebook? Ty Crandall with Credit Suite here, and today we're diving into business credit. A lot of people have had more questions about building business credit. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about 7 different reasons that you should establish business credit. We're also going to be talking about 7 different ways to do it. And we're going to be headed to the chalkboard today, which is about, 3/4 of our chalkboard to go through this. So let's first start with the beginning. So when we're talking about business credit here, we are ultimately talking about, just as a reminder, credit that's linked to your EIN, not your social security number. So what we're doing is we're going to be talking today about 7 different reasons to do this and 7 ways to do it where you're building credit for your business that's linked to your business EIN that's separate from the credit that's linked to your personal social security number, okay? So business credit basically is where you're getting credit based on your business's ability to pay, not the owner. So when we talk about no credit check, no personal guarantee, no link to social, that's exactly why. What we're doing here is we're building a credit profile for your business so your business can stand on its own. So you're judged based on your business's ability to pay debts, not your not you as an owner. And so once we do this, what happens is your business basically can fund itself. Your business, under its EIN, can fund itself without you needing to come in and attach to your social because it's not linked to you as the actual owner. So again, when we do this right, there's no personal credit check, there's no personal guarantee. So whenever we talk about no personal credit check, that alone breeds skepticism. But it's possible here because remember, a business needs to build its own credit profile to stand on its own. Once you've done so, your social isn't needed. This credit we're going to talk about, you're able to get for your EIN without even coming in and providing the social. And that's why there's no personal credit check. There's no personal credit check because we're not even supplying a social security number for them to do a personal credit check. So a lot of benefits here for doing this. Per SBA, the limits on commercial credit accounts are about 10 to 100 times higher than consumer. It's really fast to get business credit and it's very fast to get high limits. So if we look here at some real approvals, we have clients that are getting up to this $50,000, $100,000 range of approvals within 6 to 12 months. We have clients that are coming in within just a matter of months, less than 6 months, getting to $15,000, $16,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 approvals. This is impossible with consumer credit. With consumer credit, you're never going to see limits of $15,000 to $40,000 in less than 6 months. But at business credit, it's definitely possible because what happens is the business has a greater appetite or need for credit than a consumer does. So for example, you may never actually come in here and need to get, $100,000 worth of credit at Dell. So let's look here, for example, at Best Buy. You may never as a consumer need $40,000 at Best Buy because you're probably never going to buy $40,000 worth of stuff at Best Buy. But as a business, you could easily spend this much or more a month with a company like Best Buy. So the limits are substantially higher on consumer credit than what you're used to with corporate credit than what we're used to with consumer credit. As we talked about, we're not supplying the social security number, so there's no credit check, but there's also no inquiries on your consumer credit report. So if we look at this and we say, okay, there's a couple benefits. First of all, even if you have good personal credit, you're not putting any inquiries on your credit report which adversely affect 10% of your score. Plus, this credit reports to the business credit reporting agencies, Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian. So because of that, the credit doesn't report on your consumer credit report, doesn't adversely affect your FICO, it doesn't adversely affect your utilization. With consumer credit, as you put balances on your credit cards, you lower your score, and it's a pretty substantial amount because 30% of your score is utilization. But when we move business credit down here to D&B, Equifax, and Experian business credit reports, then we keep this credit away from consumer. There's no inquiries, and there's also no utilization adversely affected. So a ton of benefits here by doing this. Now, also, it's very fast. The credit I'm going to show you how to build as we talk about these ways to do it, this credit can be built immediately. You can get vendor credit immediately. You can get to the highest tier of commercial credit in 6 months or less. And all big businesses have this. Every company that's in Inc.'s 500 has business credit. You just can't simply get big without business credit because the problem is your business is going to outgrow the credit of you as a consumer. So eventually, as you get so big, you have to have this because your consumer credit can no longer support 7, 8-figure businesses, which is why you see that all big businesses have this. And you also don't want to risk your personal assets or personal guarantee anyways. I mean, look, if you know there's a better way, if you know that you don't have to personally guarantee, that they can't come after your personal assets, why not take it? Well, that's what business credit is. It separates your commercial credit and consumer credit profiles. It separates your liability so you're not putting your personal assets at risk. So a lot of different reasons to do this. Kind of some we've already touched upon. You're separating business credit from personal. So your personal assets can't be touched. What happens here is when your business builds its own credit profile, you don't provide a social, you don't provide a personal guarantee. If you ever defaulted on this credit, then what happens is they can only come after the business itself. They cannot come after your personal assets. So it separates your liability. Now, when you look at Inc., when you look at SBA, when you look at Entrepreneur and Forbes and NASDAQ, this is why they all say to build business credit, because you're separating your personal credit from personal. You're also separating your business and consumer liability as well. Now, another reason you want to do this is because using personal credit card for business really hurts that consumer utilization. And a lot of people do this. They use personal cards to fund their business. The problem is that your consumer credit score was never designed to do that. Your utilization is almost as much of your consumer credit score as paying your bills on time. Think about this. FICO is saying, hey, look, you keeping low balances on credit cards is almost equally as important as you paying bills as agreed. So because of that, when you use consumer credit and you start putting balances on your consumer credit score, it's 30% of your score, so your scores plummet. But when you take this credit and move it to your business credit reports with D&B, Equifax, and Experian, then none of this will adversely affect your FICO. You can max out the credit here, and since your credit's primarily based on how you pay, it wouldn't hurt your scores, but if you use that same credit here, it would absolutely plummet your scores. So when we look at this, we don't want to hurt that utilization, because any utilization could lower your score. Anything over 30% could substantially lower your score. So business credit separates consumer and personal credit, so your personal utilization isn't affected as you acquire business debt. Number 3, start credit history before you need it. Longer, better. Okay, almost all businesses that fail, and it is the majority of them, don't have money when they need it. So business credit is a process to build, and you don't ever want to go get money when you need it. Get it before you need it. That way, this will set the basis for you to be able to get loans at the best terms, the most amount of money before you actually need them. Now, another reason you want to consider building business credit is because you want to be prepared for unexpected things, seasonal businesses, marketing campaigns that don't work, a slow month. Having credit, having access to credit lines, credit cards, etc., helps you prepare for these times. It helps you be prepared if the unexpected happens. Now, again, when we talk about business credit, EIN is how the IRS recognizes that you have a legitimate business, but business credit itself is how suppliers, lenders, and credit issuers view your business as being credible. Okay, if you don't have business credit, then credit issuers, lenders don't really consider you to have a legitimate business. Okay, and this is why a lot of people, even with 7- and 8-figure businesses, end up getting denied, because what happens is they come in and they don't actually have business credit. It makes them look unestablished, not legitimate, and they end up getting denied. Now, trade credit also helps you as well. Some of these vendors we're going to talk about as we look at these steps can help you basically get your business, buy things you need to buy for your business anyways while building business credit. So it helps you get money to build the business while also accessing business credit, which is a huge benefit. And it also helps you get approved for money at banks. It helps you get it quicker, and it helps you get it at the best terms. Your commercial credit reports even say how much money you should be lent. So again, if you want to get approved, you want to get faster approvals, you want to get most amount of money at the best terms, business credit really is the key to doing that. And even though I said 7, I'm kind of under promise, over deliver. I'm going to give you one more. Your payment history affects your business credit scores most. So this is very easy to do. If you follow the steps we're going to talk about today, you'll see D&B and Equifax are solely based on business credit or a payment history. If you pay your bills on time, you get a good score. If you pay it early, you get a better score. Equifax, if you pay your bills on time, you get a good score. Experian takes into account different factors, but if we look at payments, derogatory items, and historical behavior, it still accounts for 85% of their score. So these scores are based on how you pay your bills. So as long as we get some credit that reports to them, you pay on time or early, that alone will give you a good score. So a lot of benefits here for building business credit, a lot of reasons that you're going to want to build business credit, but you need to know that, again, this isn't automatic. Just because you have an EIN doesn't mean you have business credit. Just because, like when you have a social, you don't just have a credit profile. You have to build a credit profile under both of these. It's not automatic. So you've got to do these steps in order, or you're going to end up running into issues and getting turned down. So we talked about more than 7 reasons here, about 12. On why you'd want to build business credit. Now let's talk a little bit more about the ways to build business credit. So the first thing you want to do when you build business credit, and even when you want to get a loan, is you've got to set up your business credibly. You need to have a professional website and a professional email address. Don't use Gmail. Don't use Yahoo. You want to use something professional, like ours is info@creditsuite.com. You want to get a toll-free number. Don't ever use a mobile phone or cell phone. Get a fax number. Make sure your phone number is listed with 411 as well. Set up a business bank account. They won't ask you for access to this, but they'll ask you for bank references, which you'd only have if you have a business bank account. Get in all necessary licenses. And most importantly, you need to make sure that everything is congruent online. Your business name, your address, your phone number, it's all congruent. This is a really, really, really big problem, because what happens is when we look at where business credit reporting agencies get your data, we see that they actually come in and get it from Yellow Pages. They come in and actually get it. From Yelp and Google and Bing. So they get it from all these places. And that will populate on your credit report. And if you apply for a loan and they have a different address or different name or different phone number online than what's on your application, believe it or not, this is so crazy. This is one of the #1 reasons that banks turn out applications, because the name, the address, the phone number doesn't perfectly match from the application to what they find online. And if you guys have questions, for some reason I'm not seeing any engagement or questions in here today turned on. I just turned off quiet mode. So I will maybe get to them when this video is done. For some reason, it's just Facebook isn't showing those today. So number 2, once you set up a business credibly, which you have to do before you get a loan. And why do you have to do this? Because think about this. You know this already. These guys approve you automatically, right? If you go to apply for a Sears credit card, a Chase Inc. credit card, there's nobody manually underwriting these applications. It's automated approvals. Well, how do you get an automated approval? It's pretty simple. You know what they're looking for. Now you know what they're looking for. You set up a credible business. This is what they want to see. Next, you got to make sure you have an EIN. You got to make sure you have a business entity. You should do that probably before you even setting up all this stuff. So you got to make sure you have an EIN, a business entity, and you want to probably stay with the corporation, not a sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship and a partnership, you and the business are one and the same. So you're never going to be able to separate your liability if you and the business are one and the same. So in order to separate liability, you have to get a separate entity, which really should be a corporation. You could also go with an LLC option as well. Now, once you've done so, now what you need to do is you need to do a free search at creditsuite.com/reports. This will tell you if you have anything reported with D&B, Equifax, and Experian now. Okay, and here's why this is important. It's important because you can be issued a failing, and I'm going to see if I can do this. My computer's kind of been having some issues today, so I'm going to see if I can pull up some reports here. You can actually come in and be issued a failing credit score even if you have absolutely no credit reporting. And I often show this just so you can get an example of how these actually work. So you can get a failing credit score even if you have no credit with the reporting agencies. Whoa, this is like ridiculously big, but I'm still going to do it. So here we're going to look at some commercial credit reports here just to show you some examples. So let me see if I can. I'm not sure if I'm able to access or not. So I might back to this. I'm having a little bit of computer issues today that required a complete reset of my computer. So I'm trying to find some examples here, and I will find some good examples to kind of give you an idea of how this works. Okay, so you can be issued a failing credit score even if you have absolutely no credit. Let me show you what this looks like. So if we look here, here's somebody actually has a 80/28 credit score, $1,000 recommendation. But as we scroll down, and this is so big, so let me see real quick here. I'm gonna do this real quick. Let me see if I can make this smaller. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Okay, here we go. Look at this. We come in and we see here a 28 score. We also see here that there's absolutely no credit reporting. There's none. So you could be issued a failing business credit score even if you have absolutely no credit. So what you want to do is you want to go into creditsuite.com/reports to just do a free check to see if anything pops up. Now, it's also important to note that even with one account reporting here, you can see that somebody can get credit. Let me zoom all these out because it's all zoomed in. So you can also see here that even if you look, this is somebody that has a 96 score. They also went from a 28 up to the 90s, and they only have one account on the business credit report. So you can only see there's one account reporting. So again, what you want to do is you want to do a free search at creditsuite.com/reports. Something's either going to pull up or it won't. If nothing pulls up, the reporting agencies don't know you exist. If something does, it's worth getting your actual credit reports to see what's on your business credit reports. You also want to get your DUNS number. Now, you can now go to creditsuite.com/DUNS, no dashes, just DUNS, and that'll give you a quick link to go to Dun & Bradstreet to get your free DUNS number. So we've set up our entity, we've set up our EIN, we've set up our business credibly, we did a free search, made sure there's nothing on there that we should know about. We also got our DUNS number here, and that's going to bring you to the next step. So the next step is you want to start getting some accounts that appear on your actual business credit reports. Now, in order to get to the next step, you're going to need 5 of these type of accounts. You may need to apply more than one time. Uline, Quill, they may deny you the first time you apply, and you have to place 2 or 3 orders to come in and get approved. So here's some real starter vendors. Uline, Quill, monopolize your marketplace. Quill sells office supplies. They sell over 1 million items they have here that you can buy. So here's some of these where you're going to come in. We're going to go in and get approved with them. We're not going to provide the social. Okay, where do I have that at? We're not going to provide this. We're only going to provide this. These guys won't even ask for this anyways. And in doing so, when they approve you, then you just got your first business credit. Now, some of them will need your actual DUNS number. And keep in mind, some don't report, like Sprint, T-Mobile, but they're good as trade references. So here, I'll show you what this looks like. So what we'll do is we'll run over to my computer and I will show you here at Quill exactly what this process looks like of how you could check out with them and how you could get this set up. So let me see here, Quill.com. Okay, so let's go take a look. So Quill is a great starter vendor because Quill has over 1 million products online. Okay, there's over 1 million products. There's all kinds of stuff you could need. So let's come here. We're going to add this to the cart. Now with Quill, you want to spend more than $50 for them to actually report it. We can see here it's in our cart. We're going to go up here. We're going to go to checkout right here. Okay, so as we go to checkout, so you're going to basically get items you want. You're going to put it in your shopping cart. You can see here it's like doing a little calculation thing here. We put them in the cart. We went to checkout. I'm hoping it's going to take us here because it's not working right now. Okay, here's our checkout. We're going to go to proceed to checkout over here. Now, it's asking me to set up an account, and I'm not going to do this. But if you can see here, 1 is login, 2 is shipping, 3 is payment. I'm going to skip ahead and show you what this process would look like. So if we come here to payment details, which I'm not sure if they're going to let me do this or skip ahead or not. I don't think that they are going to let me. So if you choose payment details on number 3, which they used to let me skip ahead, but right now they don't let us skip ahead, then what would happen on payment details is that details will give you an option of basically being invoiced. And most of these will refer to an option similar to invoice me is what they'll say. So the steps are you have to come in, you have to put items in your shopping cart, you have to set up a registration, which they used to not make you do this. Then you go to shipping information, and then you go to payment information. And once you've done so, it won't let me do it now, but once we go to payment details, then it'll actually give me the option of invoicing me. You want to choose the invoice me option. So Quill, Uline, monopolize your marketplace. They're not even going to ask you for a social security number. They won't even ask you for an EIN number because your business credit's built under your business name and address, so they don't even need your EIN number to report to the business credit reporting agency. you got to get about 5 of these type of accounts. Uline, Quill, Monopolize Your Marketplace. Once you get these, then what you want to do is you want to let them report. They'll take about 30 to 60 days on average to report. You can actually go to creditsuite.com/monitoring. We shortened this link now. creditsuite.com/monitoring. That'll get you D&B and Experian for only $24 a month. You can also go directly to Equifax and see $99 a month. So what we're looking for here is we're looking at these accounts actually getting added to your business credit reports, and I'll show you what this looks like. So if we come here and we look, this is what an account will look like. Now, commercial credit's definitely different than consumer credit, and here's one of the ways it's different. Business credit doesn't show you the name of a credit issuer, it just shows you a category. So packaging is probably a Uline account here. So what'll happen is once these accounts start to populate on your report, Equifax and Experian will give you a score even if you have only one account reporting. D&B requires 3 accounts, 3 to be able to get approved and a DUNS number to populate a report. You'll be given a score. The score is based on how you pay, and you'll start to see these trade lines with your payment history on your actual commercial credit report. So again, what we look at here is we got to pay these bills on time or early. That's what the payments are based on. So for example, when I'm buying from Quill, what I do is as soon as they ship the item, I pay the bill as soon as they ship it. Some, like Office Depot and Staples, won't let you pay until they populate an invoice. So I put it on my to-do list and log in daily until they let me pay. I pay it way before I ever physically get the bill. I pay Quill 2 weeks before they send me a bill because I know that my payment history is based on how early I pay. So as soon as they ship, you have to let them ship. As soon as they ship, then you pay the bill. Now, some of them, again, like Office Depot and Staples, won't let you pay it as soon as they ship, like Quill. Check those dailies to get it paid. But you want to make sure that you're paying them as fast as possible. Now, we've come in, we've got some vendors, Uline, Quill, Monopolize Your Marketplace. Okay, they've reported to the reporting agencies. We went to creditsuite.com/monitoring. We got monitoring. We see these accounts reporting. Once you do that, then you want to move on to what's called fleet credit. Okay, when you have 5 to 8 accounts reporting, then you're moving on to fleet credit. This is for auto vehicle repairs. It's for maintenance. It's for fuel. It's for places like Sunoco. It's for places like Exxon and Shell. It's places like RGS Fleet, Wex Fleet. You can see the approvals get pretty high. $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 that we're starting to see approvals here once you get the first 5 accounts reporting on your business credit report. So again, guys, for some reason, Facebook is not letting me see any engagement today. So if you have questions, I will go back to the video once it's on Facebook and I will make sure that those questions are answered. But for some reason, it's not showing me any right now. So now what's happened is we've got 5 to 8. They report. We have a score. Hopefully it's good if we paid the bills as agreed. Now we're moving on to fleet credit. Then with about 14 accounts reporting, you move on to the final tier, auto vehicle financing and cash credit. Here's recent approvals just in the last month we've got with this kind of, with our actual clients following these steps. So these people have 14 accounts or more. They're getting $20,000 at Chase, $100,000 at PNC, $50,000 at Amex, $50,000 at PNC. One of our clients has got $50,000 at Pilot Flying J, and that's every week. So it's actually a $200,000 account. And that's the epitome, that's the end process. It takes about 6 months to get there. So let's look at real approvals people have gotten. They started with Uline and Quill, $500 to $1,500 type approvals. These reported, Office Depot is a good starter vendor as well. These report, then you start to move on to Apple. Amazon's one that a lot of our clients get easy results with. And if you guys go to our Facebook group, creditsuite.com go to Get Business Credit, our Facebook group, you'll see all the people that get all these approvals. They show their actual approvals. They show the cards. So you can actually see how easy it is to do. And Amazon, again, is one that oftentimes gives you initial credit pretty quickly. So again, you get 5 of these accounts, Uline, Quill. Then you start to get into Amazon, Apple. Then when you have 8 or 10, you get to Fuelman, Fleet, Shell, Exxon. You start to get to fleet credit. Then when you have about 14, you start to get to Visa cards, Bank of America cards, Amex cards, PNC Bank cards. And that takes about 4 to 6 months to get to the very, very, very end result here, which is coming in and actually getting the 5 to 8 plus accounts. Now, there is a way to shortcut this process. There's a way to get around vendors. And we can get around vendors if we use a program called Unsecured Business Financing. Now here's the catch. Unsecured business financing requires a 680 FICO from you or a guarantor. So I already gave you a path that requires no credit check, no guarantee. But let's say you have good credit, you want to start building business credit, and you don't want Uline and Quill, you want Visa cards, MasterCards. Well, with this program, you can get 0% rates for about 6 to 18 months. You need about a 680 FICO score, okay? And you need to have less than 30% utilization, less than 6 inquiries. But with this program, you can get up to $150,000 in financing at 0%, and you can also do this and get credit out on the card. So these are credit lines. So you're getting 0% credit lines for 6 to 18 months, 0%. You take the physical cash out. You can take the money out of these, making them credit lines. And they're also going to give you about 5 accounts that report on your business credit reports. So it doesn't matter how you do it. In this step, you've set up the business credibly, you got an EIN, you've set up your business. Okay, now you've done a free search at creditsuite.com/reports just to see if anything's on your credit reports. Now we start building business credit, and there's 2 ways to do it. Choice A, choice B. Choice A is doing it using vendor accounts. Uline, Quill monopolize your marketplace. They sell stuff you need. There's no credit check. There's no personal guarantee. Option B, there is a credit check. There is a personal guarantee. You need a 680 FICO score. But you'll get 5 to 8 accounts that report on your business credit reports with higher limits. You get 0% rates for 6 to 18 months. And then you're also getting actual credit lines with cash out capability. So this is a great way to go. Now again, guys, I can't see any questions right now, so I'm going to give you our information. If you do have questions, and I'll go back to the video, you can always give us a ring or schedule a consultation. creditsuite.com/consult. We'll talk to you more. 877-600-2487. We've also got a great free guide on building business credit at creditsuite.com/Facebook as well. So let's do a recap. Ton of reasons you want to do this. High limits, 10 to 100 times higher than consumer credit. You don't have to supply your social. There's no personal credit check. There's no inquiries on your personal credit report. And the credit report's on your business credit report's not consumer, so you could even max out your credit cards and it won't adversely affect your utilization. Really fast to get, much faster than consumer credit. We can get vendors right away, or we can get this cash credit with if we have good personal credit right away. Then it takes about 30 to 60 days for these to report. Then we move on to the actual fleet accounts, the cash accounts. It takes 4 to 6 months in total to do all that we're talking about. You can't be big and successful without it. All large successful businesses, all Inc. 500 companies have business credit, and you don't want to risk your personal guarantee or personal assets to begin with. So reasons you're going to want to do this: we're separating business and personal credit. We're also separating your liability, okay? You're actually using personal credit cards to fund your business, hurts your utilization, which really it hurts your FICO score. You building business credit, you don't do this. The credit reports on your business credit reporting agencies, the business credit reporting agencies, so you're using your business to fund your business. Okay, you have money when you need it. That's the number one reason to not fail in business, is have money before you need it. And again, business credit and having the EIN and having business credit is what makes you look legitimate. Trade credit you're able to use to really build your business. And again, business credit is going to determine if you're going to get bank loans, the terms and rates you're going to pay, how much money you're even going to get as well. So how do we do it? A recap. First, you build that business credibility. Professional website, professional email, toll-free number, business phone number, fax number, 411 listing, business address or virtual address. Never use UPS, never use PO Box. Use a home address before you ever use a UPS address. Make sure that all your listings are congruent. The Secretary of State, your application for credit, everything is congruent. Make sure you got your EIN set up in your business entity. Try to choose a corporation. Corporation is the best entity you could choose because it separates your liability. Do a free search at creditsuite.com/reports. Do they know you exist now? Remember, you could be issued a failing credit profile and score even if you have no credit. I showed you a real report that has that example. So make sure you do a free search. If nothing pulls up, you're good. You're starting from scratch. If something does pull up, you probably want to go ahead and get your business credit reports, which I'll talk about in a minute to see what's on there. Get your DUNS number. creditsuite.com/DUNS is the quick link to get that done. Next, start building business credit. There's 2 ways to do it. This way has no credit check, no personal guarantee. You're getting Uline, Quill, monopolize your marketplace. I showed you what the shopping cart process looks like. You put stuff in your cart, spend about $50 or more, pay the bill as agreed, and then that's what will give you a good score. Or if you have a 680 FICO, Then you can come in and get Visa cards, MasterCards, Amex, 0% rates, get about 5 to 8 cards where you could take the cash out up to 150 grand and use these to build your business credit. The difference is this requires good credit and a personal guarantee. This option doesn't. So you have 2 different options to get your first 5 accounts. Once you have the accounts, you need to monitor your business credit reports. And again, this is a longer link. We shortened it to creditsuite.com/monitoring. And there you can get D&B and Experian for $24 a month through our NAV integration. This is the cheapest place anywhere on the planet to get credit monitoring, even cheaper than NAV. Okay, next, what we're going to go ahead and do is add more accounts. Once those first 5 accounts start to report, we need to get more revolving store credit cards, Staples, Office Depot, Amazon, etc. And once we have about 8 to 10 accounts, we can get fleet credit. Then when we have about 14 accounts, we can get the Visa, MasterCard credit. Here's real approvals. Okay, you're going to start with probably Uline, Quill, $500, $1,500, Office Depot. Then you start moving on to Apple and Amazon and start getting $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to $10,000 limits. Then you start coming into getting fleet credit. Your limits start getting higher, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Then when you have 14 accounts, you start to get auto vehicle financing at places like Ford, Visa cards, Bank of America cards, Chase credit cards, PNC, Amex. That totes you about 4 to 6 months to get to, and about 14 trades to get you to that very, very, very final step. So that's it. A lot of reasons to build business credit. A lot of different ways to do this as well. Remember, for some reason, I can't see comments today here on Facebook. I've tried everything to get it to work. It's not working. So I will go back and answer your questions on the video itself. But make sure if you have questions, give us a ring. 877-600-2487, creditsuite.com/consult. Guys, it's real simple. We just take years of you trying to figure this process out on your own, even knowing the steps, and we condense it to months. So if you want the fastest and easiest way to do it, let us know. And it's even cheaper to work with us than it is to do it on your own, because there's a lot of things with us you get for free at a huge discount that you'll have to pay for. Want to do it on your own? Grab our free guide. creditsuite.com/Facebook. It gives you more details and maps out the exact steps to do this. And I have one more way you can do it too, which is I have something called text training tips, that if you text the word tips to this number once a week, you'll get a short video, 2 to 5 minute training tip. You'll get a link in your text to a short training tip. These tips are only available through text. The only way these are available is through this. By texting the word tips to 855-982-1820, you'll get a weekly tip from me that I only give through text. We don't do it any other way. So a lot more ways you can get information. Text training tips, text the word tips to 855-982-1820. Visit creditsuite.com/Facebook to get your free guide. And don't forget, if you have questions or you just want the fastest way to get results, give us a ring. 877-600-2487, creditsuite.com/consult. My apologies if Facebook isn't letting me see comments and questions today. Don't know what the deal is with that, but it's not. So I'm going to wrap this up. If you missed this, go back and see it in its entirety. It'll be indefinitely available on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/credit suite. I will go back to our main page right now. I will see what comments you may have had, and I will make sure that I get those questions answered. Keep in mind, I use a service called Live Leap that takes this video and puts it across a bunch of different groups and pages. So I'm probably going to go to creditsuite.com, and creditsuite.com, let me see if that's not going to work. creditsuite.com, I will then go to creditsuite.com and answer any questions or anything that's there to make sure those questions are answered. If you answered or asked a question in one of the groups you're seeing this video, I might not get to that answer. So if you have a question you want answered, give us a ring. I gave you a bunch of ways to get in touch with us, or go to facebook.com/credit suite, type it on that video. I'm going to head there right now and answer questions. Sorry I couldn't get the engagement today. Facebook's not working. I've done everything swipe left, swipe right. But hopefully now you got a lot of good information about 7 different ways, more than 7 reasons to build business credit, and 7 different ways to do it. If you have questions, make sure you reach out to us and give us a call. 877-600-2487. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.